Good Monday evening. Hope you had a wonderful day in the Lord. Let me ask you this. How are you doing in your heart as far as some sudden issues, some challenges? I could be talking to my fellow sisters and brothers who are in a picket line and they know that they're going to feel the pinch. No money? How are you feeling? I was listening to some of them today, and we're feeling it, especially if you are the head of the household, you're by yourself, you don't have that support, you don't have a spouse to rely on. Woo! Yeah, we're feeling it, but God is in control. And in the first verse of 2Chron.6, the 6th chapter, it opens up reassuring us that God dwells even in the midst of a dark cloud. Now, the last chapter and the last verse was talking about the glory of the Lord filled the house, and it was a cloud where the ministers couldn't even carry out their duties. Right? They were like, wow, because we can't even, do our functions because there's darkness. And some of us might feel that way too. We have these gifts. We have what the Lord has put within us, but we're not able to do our job. Our hands are tied and we have nothing to do with it. We're just like, on the sidelines, and we want to get back to serving the Lord. But guess what? God is still in control. He knew about this and he knows the length, and we just trust in him. In the meantime, in the 6th chapter, where it talks about the cloud and Solomon is praying to the Lord, it says in verse 26, when the heaven is shut up, right? When it seems like there are no resources around, when it seems like, wow, our flow, our income streams are being cut off, and there is no rain because they have sinned against thee. Ooh, this is where we have to examine our hearts. Yet if they pray toward this place, toward the Lord, and confess thy name and turn from their sin, when thou dost afflict them, then hear from heaven. And we know the next chapter is that very familiar verse, 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name, if we humble ourselves. But this is the chapter beforehand. So what do we need to do in the meantime is we have to check our heart. In verse 8 of chapter 6, remember David had the intention. It says, but the Lord said to David, my father, Solomon is speaking, for as much as it was in thine heart, he had great intentions to build a house for the Lord's name. Thou didst well in that it was in thine heart. That means it was meritorious. It was great. And we have to make sure that our intentions as far as being in the classroom is pure, really for the children. Or is it just, hey, to get paid and I'm thinking about retirement? No, you got to have a heart to do the work, or whatever line or ministry or service the Lord has put you in. Make sure your heart is in it, and God will be glorified, and he will bless, and he will open doors. Oh, yes, he will. And he will preserve you, and he will open up heaven, and the windows will be open and pour you out a blessing continually. But we have to make sure that we have God's heart in mind, his people in mind, to serve him in the spirit and in truth. Because today is October 28th, we go to Proverbs 28, and there are like so many verses talking about if we are in this financial situation where the streams have dried up temporarily, we have to trust in the Lord. And in verse 28, is that actually 18? It says, whoso walketh uprightly shall be saved. We have to have integrity. Verse 19, whoever that tilleth their land shall have plenty of bread. We take care of the business in the meantime. But if we follow after crazy vanity, then we'll have poverty. And verse 20, a faithful man or woman shall abound with blessings. We still have to focus on the blessings of the Lord and blessing his people. Whatever is our financial emergency or urgency at the at the time. We have to trust the Lord. In verse 22, he that hasteth, if we're trying to hustle and try to be rich and, pick this side thing here and it doesn't honor God, then what? We're not even thinking that poverty is going to come upon us because we are not acknowledging the Lord. Verse 23, he that rebuketh the man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with his tongue. We want to be honest. We want to be forthright in all of our dealings. And it says, whoso robbeth his dad or mom, is a companion of destroyer. No, we want to honor our family in our situations, and the Lord will preserve us. And he that trusteth in his own heart is a fool. No, we got to trust in the Lord so that he will lead us. And in verse 27, he or she that giveth unto the poor in the meantime, shall not lack. Amen. But he or she that hideth their eyes shall have many a curse. No, we are blessed of the Lord, even in the situation that we find ourselves in. We're going to be bountiful and blessed, and we're going to honor God with everything that he gives us. And he's going to get the glory out of our lives, even in this situation. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy his faithfulness. Good night.